Good evening, YouTube. Vampire YGO back to back with another Buster Blader profile. This deck profile will be a Buster Blader Crusadia build, the one that I believe is the best way and most consistent way of running the deck. Obviously, the previous video I posted on Sunday was just a pure build and kind of just showing off the core and kind of what each card does to affect it. Obviously, a lot of those cards you don't really use in this version here. So I'll kind of show you, you have to make room for the Crusadia package. But I will even show off a combo at the end just to kind of show the generic hands that you can kind of expect or what you would expect to do with the cards. And then first, in the previous video, we had 2 Buster Bladers, and this one I'm only running 1. It's not necessary to run 2, especially since we do run 2 still of these guys here, the Destruction Sword Master. So these are pretty much the 3 Buster Blader cards. You don't really typically want to see them in your hand, at least first hand. You can get them through Saryuja or from the grave as well, and then they basically are just like an extra summon for the combo as well. They're not always guaranteed, but if you get them, they definitely help. And then again, the Sword Master can basically detach one of the equipped monsters, so either the Buster Dragons, and then destroy all monsters on your opponent's side of the field. But it's also, when it's in the grave and on the field, it is considered Buster Blader. And then we are still running the 3 Buster Whelp of the Destruction Swordsman. This card is amazing. This card is also the secondary way that you can run the combo if you get more of like a dead hand. You normal summon, link Karibo, special summon the Crusadia, link off to Spatha, special summon the other Crusadia, and then basically just go for the rest of the combo off at that point there. But I guess I should say as well, obviously this card, when it is normal summoned, you can add a Destruction Swordsman card from your deck to your hand, which you would be adding. This one is the one you really want to keep in your hand, or hope that you get from the double Saryuja play that you go off with. And then the secondary effect is, as well as you contribute this card from the field to special summon a Buster Blader monster from your hand or graveyard. He's pretty good. And he's also a tuner as well for backup purposes to get the Buster Dragon on the field as well. And the other more pure build in the last video, I was running 3. Yeah, you only really need 2 of them. The other one's a little bit more important, I guess, when it comes to at least starting off the combo. This one's actually really easy to get into the grave or get from the Saryuja, especially with some of the other cards that I threw in here as well. And then obviously everyone knows what this one does. When this one's equipped to a monster, not just a Buster Blader monster, it locks out your opponent from their extra deck. And he's also a tuner as well, level 1. Just like the previous build as well. 1 red MD. I really hope they don't errata this one until after they ban it and then unban it. So I'm hoping maybe after Master Rule 5 comes around, maybe after the first few months of the format, so second ban list after the Master Rule has been effective, I hope is when they ban this card then. At least I don't hope they don't ban it at all, but if they ban it, I hope that's when they do it versus preemptively striking this card. And then, because they've never really errated a card before until it's come off the ban list, which is what they did in the OCG. It was on the ban list, got released, and now it's been errated. So I don't think they should errata the card before banning it, essentially. It's not really a problem here either. There's not that many people running Dragon decks really besides the Rockets. And then, I don't know, I've seen some builds of like Dragon Maids and stuff like that, or people are getting kind of hopeful about with some of the new support, but you know, it's mainly just for the Guard Dragon package, and I hear in the OCG that it's actually been a bit more of a problem there with some of the rulings and things that they have versus how it goes here. It's not, you know, everywhere. But you know what this one does. This one you're gonna use this for the combo multiple times. You can get this card off at least 3 to 4 times in a or anywhere from 2 to 4 times, I should say, in a combo, depending on what cards you get from Saryuja, or start with, I guess I should say. Next for the Crusadia package, just like the pure build as well, 3 Crusadia Draco, one of the best cards in the combo and in the deck. All the Crusadia monsters are special summoned, or you can special summon from their hand in defense position to a link arrow that a link monster points to, and then they all have a secondary effect of when they get special summoned to a link zone. This one is you get to return 1 card from your hand to your graveyard that is a Crusadia monster other than itself. But usually this is the one you want to summon to first. if you summon with your Crusadia. 3 Maximus. The freaking Prismatic is awesome. There's multiple cards that you have the Maximus on in here throughout his like journey in the Yu-Gi-Oh card artwork through the lore. But pretty standard, just another Crusadia name. You're never gonna really use his effect unless you get Abramax out, which that's more for, I guess, if you're going second or if you really, really need to grind game style, but you don't really use his effect besides the special summon. This one you actually do use. I've actually used it quite a lot. Again, also going second. It's the same thing, special summon to a link zone that a link monster points to. When special summoned, you can tribute or destroy, one other Crusadia monster that you have on the field and destroy 1 card on your opponent's side of the field. So it doesn't have to be him, or you can use him, is usually what you want to do, and then you use the effect of Arborea that's hopefully in the grave at that point in time, and then it saves itself, and then you can, you know, still link with it or keep it as a defense. But I would say it's probably the second best Crusadia monster, at least in this build. Don't really use the effect of Arborea much besides that, and again, it's only for going second, really. This is pretty much just going to be using them for link material. Special summon, and then her effect is when she's in the grave, if one of your Crusadia monsters would be destroyed, like battle card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard to protect it for that turn. And usually, it's really good with Abramax in like a regular Crusadia build. 3 Draw and Lock, again, this is, you know, you can run Ash, DD Crows, Ghost Ogres, Imperms essentially would be awesome as well, I feel like, in this deck, but again, they're pretty much for if you're going second, and I feel like Draw and Lock shuts down majority of decks right now. Spiral, Hero, Invoked Shaddoll versus just the pure Shaddoll, Rockets, Heroes. You know, there's so many decks right now that just rely on adding multiple cards to the hand to keep their combo going. So it's pretty much up to you at that point, like what you want to throw in for hand traps. This is the only hand traps I have, and then that it ends it for the monsters as well. In the pure build, I was running 3 World Legacy Guard Dragon. I believe that 2 is perfectly fine in this, with obviously what you can get with the combo. And then you know what that one does, revives a level 4 lower dragon monster, and can also move a monster, which is one of the handy things if your opponent shuts down one of your plays, or if you kind of misplay or don't get the proper play, you can use this to move one of the cards out of the way as well, your dragons. 1 World Legacy Succession. I was thinking about possibly swapping this to 1 and then adding 2 of these, but they're kind of just like your Reborn cards, obviously Monster Reborn, but I've been seeing it a decent amount when I've been playing the deck lately, getting either of these, because you just want to get one of these to make the combo to where you basically end with Apollosa and the Prologue trap card on the board. But obviously just revival cards. Basically what you use those for is you revive the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and then use its effect for the 3rd time after the combo. And then these 2 cards are to get your what do you want to call it, the Buster Dragon that locks out the extra deck from your deck to the graveyard, so that way you just have 1 in there, because that's pretty much how you're gonna activate the effect of the Buster Dragon, to equip it during your opponent's turn to your Buster Blader, Dragon Destroyer, Swordsman. I swear all these names: Dragon, Destruction, Swordsman, Swordmaster, Blader. And then last but not least for the spells, 3 Called by the Grave. Again, this deck I feel like is best going first. You usually want to go ASAP, so that way you can get the combo off and then just pretty much lock them in multiple ways. And that would be it for the spell cards. The best trap in the deck, 3 Prologue of the Destruction Swordsman. And again, pretty much what this one does is you'll end turn with either Saryuja or Apolloso or Heretic Seal, most likely. You'll activate this card, you'll pitch this card to your grave with a Buster Blader. Even if you already have one in there, I recommend still doing another Buster Blader, just to make sure it goes off. And then you activate this card here, and then basically as a part of the chain from the grave, to banish itself with the Buster Blader monster and one of the dragons from your graveyard, and then you special summon the Buster Blader Fusion, and then the Synchro of the Buster Dragon from this effect, and then the Buster Dragon is destroyed at the end phase of your next turn. And this card also you can banish from your graveyard to protect your Buster Blader monsters, kind of like the Arborea. 2. Again, this one's kind of cool. It has that like misprint, like ink splot from the pink or purple like dropped on it. 2, Destruction, Sword of Memories. This card you pretty much do not want to see in your hand. You're not going to usually want to set it. It's pretty much just the card that you want to get to the graveyard, but it's still pretty good first effect, which is you can discard 1 Destruction Sword card and special summon 1 Buster Blader monster from your deck. Which, worst case scenario, there are some ways where you can end with just a Buster Blader, maybe the Buster Dragon, and then use Buster Dragon's effect next turn from the card that you discarded, which was probably one of the whelps to equip to it. But again, I've never had to do that. So don't worry about that. You'll swap that card out from your Saryuja plays. Make sure it goes back in the deck. You want it in the grave. And then Trap Trick. 2 of them. I was trying to do 3, but again, 3 was just too much even for the Crusadia build. You're definitely going to make sure you get either this card or the Prologue, no matter what. And then obviously, you know what that does, banish a trap card, so you want to have at least 2 copies of the trap card, add the other one to the hand, and you can activate it that turn, but it would be the last trap you can activate from the field. So that Trap Trick effect does not go against the Prologue, and then still being able to activate the other trap. For the extra deck, it's very similar. I think there's only a slight change, obviously, because the other one just kind of had the filler synchro monsters in there and link monsters like Lambda and stuff. Still 2, Buster Blader, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. I mean, the card is amazing. When this card hits board, all the dragon monsters on your opponent's side of the fields are forced to defense position, and they cannot activate their effects. And then he gains 1,000 attack and defense for each dragon monster in their graveyard or on their field. And then if he attacks a defense position monster, because he cannot attack directly, they take piercing battle damage. And he usually gets around anywhere from 4K to 5.5K with you know, a decent board that they have on their side of the field if they try to start combating you a little bit. But part of the lock for sure. That's 2, Buster Dragon. This card is awesome. He's kind of like, just looks like he's wrecking some sort of like city or, I don't know, some sort of town or something below there. But this is obviously the crazy dragon from the pictures of the cards and the artwork. What he does is you'll special summon him from the Prologue most of the time, or you, like I said, can link summon with the tuner and a Buster Blader monster to make the level 8. And then basically all your opponent's monsters become dragons, so that's when his effect kicks in. All the dragons are defense and then negated. And then you can also quick effect during your opponent's turn, target the Buster Dragon that locks them from the extra deck, or if you have one from the graveyard or something like that you're playing, you can link it to, or equip it to the Buster Blader monster on your side of the field. If you have a regular Buster Blader monster, I usually equip it to that one, just like the, like I said, the Destroyer Swords Master, just in case you can use his effect next turn to swipe their board, if you have an option to do it, or if you want to just keep the controller and not just leave it on there. 2 mages for the Crusadia package. He is essential, and you can sometimes get the combo off twice if they, you know, you go after your turn. Sometimes they combat you if they have like a sphere mode or a kaiju's or Nibiru or something like that next turn. If you survive, you can definitely try to use the combo again. So I recommend 2 mages just in case. And then his effect is, whoops, really quick, when a link monster is special summoned, or when a monster is special summoned to his link arrow, you get to add a Crusadia monster from your deck to hand, and you're pretty much going to almost always choose a Crusadia Draco. 1 Crusadia Spatha, because you can use the effect of Crusadia Draco to add her back to your extra deck if the combo does fail as well, if you get the opportunity to. And her effect is, when a monster is special summoned to her link arrow, she can activate the effect to move it to a different position on the board. And that's what you'll definitely crucial for the combo. Avermax, I replaced the Boral Sword with the Avermax just because, obviously for the Crusadia package, and I guess, you know, he's a problem card that I feel like a lot of decks have a really difficult time outing. If you do get this card out successfully, it kind of usually catches them off guard, and then, you know, his effect is just kind of speaks for itself. 1 Link Karibo. And this is, like I said, if you don't end up with Crusadia monsters in your hand, or just 1 Crusadia monster, and you get one of the Buster Dragons, you can normal summon them, link to the Link Karibo, then start off the play with the special summoning the Crusadia monster. 1 Elpie and 1 Pisty. I really hope they don't banned the Guard Dragon LP. Again, it has not been a problem here. It's nothing that people should be even complaining about anymore. Agripane's going in and getting Red MD out. That's just part of the combo. That's pretty much what the dragons have right now. If you get rid of that, it's, I don't know, I think it's a damper to the dragon combo package if you get rid of the LP here. Again, I think maybe see how it does in Master Rule 5 and with some of the new support coming out. If it becomes a problem, then hit it. I just don't usually agree with preemptively or guessing on hitting some of the cards, but you definitely want both of these guys in there. And then 1 Hieratic Seal, 2 Saryuja, and honestly, there's definitely times where you could play a third one and you can get the third combo off, but usually, like I said, that's what you'd be ending with, so you'd rather just, instead of milling through your whole deck just in case they do stop you with like a Sphere Mode or Kaiju or something like that, you can go with the combo the next turn. But yeah, everyone knows what he does. And then, last but not least, the Apollousa. Like I said, pretty much your ideal board is to end with Apollousa and the Prologue trap card, and then pretty much end turn, activate the trap card, get the Buster Dragon and the Fusion out, and then link or equip the Fusion with the Buster Dragon equip card to lock from the extra deck. And then pretty much ask them to answer that. They will usually scoop to the next game, or if they have something which it's like an 80% chance that they don't, then you take it. And then, so I guess combo wise, let me show that off really quick. I know it's going to be a little bit of a smaller screen, but we'll just start with, I guess, Draco and Maximus. Get 2. So say these 2 are in your hand, plus, you know, whatever other cards at the moment. It doesn't really matter here. You're going to normal summon the Crusadia Draco, link away Draco. My cards are all scattered now. To the Magus. You're going to special the Maximus, add from Magus effect to get another Crusadia Draco, add it to your hand. You're going to link for 2. You're going to get Crusadia Spatha. Since you normal summoned the Draco before, that's why you want to normal summon this one first, so you have that extra summon of the Draco. Special the Draco. Do not chain the Spatha effect, only chain the Draco, so save it. Draco effect to add from grave, you'll add, I guess, just, yeah, because you can't add itself, so you just add Maximus back. And then you're going to link, let me see. Actually, yes, you did want to trigger the Spatha effect. Sorry, I was thinking if you didn't get the right one. So trigger Spatha effect, if you only have a dragon here, you're going to move it over, sorry, no, I was correct. You're going to link away from Crusadia Draco. Duh, I'm skipping that step there, that's why. To LP, then trigger Spatha effect. So that's why you waited to use it versus using it from the Guard Dragon. And then, or the Crusadia. Move over the LP. LP adds, sorry, my cards are just everywhere. That's why it's a little bit of a crap show here. Red MD. Red MD special summons the second Draco that was in your grave. Now you have 4. Link all 4 of these away. First Skull Dread. Draw 4 cards. Depending on what you get, you'll usually get some sort of another dragon, like one of the Busters or something like that. And, you know, pretty much use the, we'll say we just got the Instruction Swordsman. You'll use Saryuja to special summon. Link away. This time you are going to go to the Pisty. Pisty to re-special summon Red MD. Red MD, re-special summon. Either you can do the Crusadia Draco, or essentially you can do the one of the Buster Dragons. Link away again. Second Saryuja, same thing. Draw a decent amount of cards. Hopefully you get one of the Buster Blader monsters in your hand, and essentially you're going to be looking for the trap card. And then Saryuja effect, special summon one of the monsters from your deck. I would say you had a Buster Blader in hand, special summon. Or if you got, like, again, Monster Reborn or the World Legacy Succession, Monster Reborn, and that's when you'll get Red MD again. Red MD special summons. Welp, link away for 4. It's, where are you at? Apollosa, and then you're going to set Prologue, because I'm sure you definitely would have gotten this with a trap trick by that time. Set it, end turn. End turn, you're going to activate the first chain that they do, or anything that they do. Activate anything in a standby phase. You're going to do Prologue. Prologue is going to pitch this guy to the grave, plus one of these. Chain, Destruction Sword of Memories, Banish, Banish, Banish. I would always recommend a Draco. And then basically what happens first is get special summoned, second chain effect for after memories, Buster Dragon activate and equip if you ended up getting one of the whelps into the graveyard to the Buster monster there. And that is pretty much just the basic combo. Otherwise, you'll end with usually, like I said, either Saryuja or the Hieratic Seals is the two. But you want 2 link zones open so that you can get both of these guys. Once Master Rule 5 comes out, this deck, even the pure version, which is not very good, becomes a lot better because you don't have to worry about where you can special summon these. It is amazing. So it definitely will get a huge boost in Master Rule 5, I believe. And then the only thing I really changed in the side deck compared to the previous video was I added 3 Retaliating Sea just because of the amount of Shaddolls that I've been playing lately and Shaddol Invoked. So I just kind of swapped out the DD Crows for the Retaliating Seas. And then again, if I had Lightning Storms, I would swap out the Twin Twisters in the side deck for Lightning Swarms. But that is pretty much it. Sorry for the little hiccup in the combo there, but yeah, for a second I just kind of spaced it or kind of thought I was skipping a step. If you guys have any questions or any feedback, please leave me likes, dislikes, comments. If you dislike it, please just let me know why. And then you guys have a good night. Thank you again.